The Kettleers return to Lowell Park tonight after 2 straight away wins, looking to get 3 in a row for only the second time this season against Bourne. Things got off to an undesirable start in the first, however, as Bourne's leadoff hitter Judd Fabian crushed a ball over the center field fence on the very first pitch to make it 1-0 Bourne. Cotuit's pitching was able to keep Bourne from gaining momentum after the big hit, but after Chris Holcomb entered in relief in the third, he gave up a line drive single right over his own head that scored another for Bourne. Down 2-0 after 3, Iraj Anu gave Cotuit the offensive boost they needed, leading off the third with a solo bomb of his own, his 4th of the season, and one that looked to swing the game's momentum just like his last home run versus Hyannis.
He was due to run into one at some point, right? Love the home run celebration for Iraj, and he gets on the board with his 4th homer of the season. Just the spark that the Kettleers needed to wake up in this one against Bourne.
However, Bourne would display the defensive savvy today that has usually been Cotuit's trademark alongside their power hitting, as in the 6th inning, Kyle Hess snagged what was potentially a home run off the bat of Casey Schmidt, and Bourne was able to double up Aubrey Major at first after he came too far off the bag on the play. The same bad luck befell Cotuit in the 7th, as with Cody Pasek on first and Cotuit looking for some momentum, Parker Chavers flared a soft liner back to the pitcher, who would toss it to first to double up Cotuit again. The Kettleers looked to keep Bourne at bay and stay only 1 run down, but in the 8th that plan went south as Nick Gonzalez made a throwing error off a ground ball, which would pull Mason McWhorter off first base and allow a Bourne base runner to score from third. 3 batters later, Judd Fabian would come to the plate again, and he would take Cotuit yard again. This ball even more crushed than the last, and even more crushing to Cotuit's chances for pulling out a win. But Kettleers never say die, and Cotuit was ready to give it their best shot in the bottom of the 9th. After Colton Kessler and Cam Hill singled and Dante Williams walked to load the bases, it was who else up to the plate but Iraj Anu, who delivered a spark earlier with a home run, to do the same thing again, this time by lining a ball to the left center gap that would clear the bases and make it 6-4 Cotuit. However, Anu would trip in the base path and would come up limping, having to be taken out for a pinch runner. But with 2 outs, Nick Gonzalez would come to the plate, representing the tying run. And this at-bat would also represent his last chance to get on base today and extend his on-base streak to 25 games this season. With a full count, Gonzalez lined a ball to right center that looked like it might drop, but it hung up long enough for Bourne's right fielder to catch it for the game's final out and a 6-4 Bourne win. Even with today's loss, Cotuit stays neck and neck with Wareham for the Western Division lead. Their pitching staff continues to improve with each passing game, executing mostly good innings today, but with only a few unfortunate mistakes. And despite only a 167 batting average going into today's game, Iraj Anu demonstrated that he sports a clutch factor unequaled by most hitters in the league, although his leg injury could hinder his playtime after today. We spoke with Coach Roberts after the game about his thoughts on his team's play and their progress, and to send you to that, and signing off for the Cotuit Kettleers, I'm Jacob Cohen.
All right, Coach, not the result that you wanted, but how much do you appreciate kind of the battle in the bottom half of the 9th of the team?
Yeah, it's great. Great. Yeah, I hate Iraj got hurt because he had an incredible game there, so that takes a little bit of that out of it, knowing that, as I said in our huddle, I think he's been spending too much time around majors, and they just traded hamstrings here. I was very pleased with the comeback. It doesn't surprise me at all. We're an excellent club. Bourne did something tonight that nobody's done against us. They made a couple of defensive plays that were superior, particularly the play against the left field fence, which you got to give them credit for that. And then we didn't pitch well in the 8th inning, and gave them a chance to widen it. And so overall, good effort. We know right now that on that 5th and 6th day, we're going to have to battle like crazy until we can get all of those pitchers who haven't been out there as often, okay? Now, like Justice today did a fantastic job. That was his best outing. So as we go through this, we're seeing more and more of our 15, 16 pitchers up, their level of expertise, their polish. And we just need to get more on that for every day. but I'm very pleased. And, these guys are playing every day. And what can you say but just thank you for their effort.
I know you stressed to the guys in the past after the Falmouth loss at Falmouth, you were talking about how not taking 2 strikes, swinging more earlier in the count. It seemed like they really did that well today and hit a lot of hard balls, some of them right at defenders, unfortunately. But was that something that you stressed before the game, and are you pleased with that?
No, I think I've just stressed that overall and said, look, we want to cut our strikeouts down, we want to swing the bat. Okay, I would appreciate very few people walking back to that dugout after a 3rd strike, and I think they've done a wonderful job with that. We've scored more runs, we've hit a lot of baseballs hard, and today we had a lot of baseballs hard, but we just didn't find a hole. Last night, Nick, I think, had 1 base hit and hit 3 more rockets last night and got nothing. So that's the way the game goes at time. But in the 9th inning, we hit the ball hard, single, and then we got a walk, and then we get we got a single to score 3 runs because Raj hurt his leg. But they've done a great job on the offensive end. Our pitchers have done a really good job. Again, we just need a few more to upgrade their polish. And defensively, I think we've been fine. So I like our club. Would it be nice to put a winning streak together? Sure. And we're going to continue to work until we put that win streak together.